Now, the draw distance is actually pretty impressive, to be honest, considering.
It's gorgeous, Alan.
It's
I will
something,
admit,
all right.
I agree with the lady
Don't worry,
that
honey.
it's actually
I'll
is
get you
very
inside
gorgeous.
safe
I
and
mean,
sound
look
before
at
it gets
that, the
dark.
scenery.
And I've got the flashlight.
And it's hard
Yeah.
to believe just how
I'm
much
okay.
work there is.
Alice had a
Another
phobia,
thing as well
the
is
fear of
you see
darkness.
very
I
distant
wanted to
places
make sure
and you
we
think
were inside with the
you're
lights
never
on
ever
before
going to get
sunset.
there. But no, you can. You can actually walk to those places and it's very impressive. And I'm not saying it's a complete open world like, say, Grand Theft Auto, but I am saying that you see a distant path and eventually, you know, assuming that path connects, you will be able to get there. So, and it's almost seamless in terms of loading as well. So it's actually pretty impressive. I was actually very impressed when it was released on the consoles, considering, in particular, of course, the limited amount of RAM. There's a pseudo quick time event when you have to open up locks and stuff. You have to tap the A button a few times.
A shoebox filled with books by Thomas Zane sat on the shelf. I'd never heard of him before.
Hello? Anyone here?
Get the power on, it says. Now, another coffee thermos. Excellent, splendid. And let's have a quick check upstairs, see what's around.
For a moment, the oppressive feel of the nightmare I had seen on the ferry returned. Damn.
Very pretty.
I needed to get the power running in the cabin. There had to be a fuse box or a generator somewhere on the island.
Indeed. I'll quickly take you for a tour of this
The
lovely
cabin
place.
looked like a time capsule from the 60s, or even earlier.
Yeah, his narration throughout is pretty interesting. He kind of gives you his thoughts, which can be kind of annoying after a while, but it's also quite nice as well. It's either a love it, hate it thing. I quite like it personally. As I've said before, the game looks absolutely gorgeous.
The power cable goes to that shed over there.
Indeed. I like how I have to do it. I believe she has a morbid fear of the dark, hence the reason I have to do such things.
An old
Okay.
generator had been
We'll
connected
go
to
in
the power
and
cable.
start it. And we now have it. As I said, pseudo quick time events, but they're not particularly challenging, so if you're a hater of them, don't fear too much.
The lights are on. Good work, honey. I'll freshen up a bit and start settling in.
Okay. I'll look around a bit.
Sure thing. Have fun.
The island had once been the site for... It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here. Maybe it would be that again.
To be honest with you, because of the sheer size of the game, it's not one of those games that completely starts easily. So I'm probably going to do a second part to this, kind of a little bit later on in the story, so you guys can kind of check that out as well.
Alice? Honey?
Because obviously it's unfair to give a first look at the
I'm upstairs.
beginning.
I have a surprise for you.
Ah yes, I forgot about this part. This is pretty cool.
Surprise!
Alice? What is this?
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn, Alice, you... Everyone
Hey, hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists.
So now you want to get me committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Just don't! I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice! God damn it!
I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through.
You should watch out, man. Twist an ankle.
Alice?
Alice? Alice!
The cabin had gone dark. All the lights were out.
Alice,
Owie.
I'm coming! It's all right, I'm coming!
What the hell?
I'm working on it. Relax.
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
Keep going. Wake up.
Alice?
Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there.
Excuse
All I
me.
knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
And now the game begins properly. Let's see. It's
Among Alice's
examine.
things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
Indeed. I actually thought there was a flashlight at the start. Apparently not so much. I believe you get that a little bit later then. Anyway, fair enough. Let's have a little stroll. Apparently not down there. Really? That I was not expecting.
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either. The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
Yes, indeed. And I have to actually walk that, which is quite cool. There are actually driving sections in the game as well, but they're few and far in between. Although they are quite nice when you do them, as it does break it up. Fortunately, the controls aren't that bad. Actually quite nice. I'm going to quickly walk around. No. Somewhat. I'm trying to tell. Not, it doesn't exactly bend when you're going through it, but it's still quite nice.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello? Someone there?
Ah, yes, I forgot about the pages.
The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
Now, basically, the pages give you an idea of what's going to happen
The man turned
in
to
the
face
game.
me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness.
I won't bother to listen to it, however, on this. But every one of them has narration fully. Now, the game is somewhat open in some areas you can explore, but as I've said, it's not exactly going to be something like, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto. But there's a little bit of exploration, although the path is mostly linear, to be honest. And there are a few puzzles dotted about here and there.
Anybody there?
Alright.
Please! I've been in an accident!
There'll be another one if this guy gets hold of you, dude.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
That's a very strong maybe. Let's quickly check. Make sure there's nothing around here I'm missing. I think there is, but to be honest with you, for the purposes of demonstration, it's not particularly a big deal. I think we can just quickly hop over the fence. Balancing act is fairly simple.
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident.
He keeps repeating that as if it's going to make the difference. I don't think it is going to make the difference.
Hey! Hey, you!
Phil!
There's been an accident. I need help. Listen,
Deposit.
I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in
Oh, hell.
Carl Stuckey. Pleased to meet you. Non-refundable reservation deposit required. Fair and square.
He is not a friend. Now, basically, each one of these guys is controlled by the darkness.
The Taken stood before me.
And they call them Taken. I won't bother to read it. You guys can pause it if necessary. Agile little fellow, ain't he?
Lose? Shit. The deposit. It's the late.
I had to figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stuckey
Here's
would be knocking
Stuckey.
on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
On the plus side, a revolver, which is quite nice, and a nice flashlight, which is always handy.
I wasn't about to
Quite
open
interesting
the
as
door,
well, you can still
long
see
as
the
I was
mark on
trying
the
to
door.
catch an axe with my forehead.
Pick up batteries. Basically, if you decide to overload, as you can see, the batteries will go down fast, and then eventually they'll start charging up. On the other hand, if you basically go down a battery, it won't automatically go up, so it's possible to pretty much run out of batteries and then be on emergency power, if you will.
Yes.
Bright Falls Sheriff's Station. How may I...
Hello? Hello?
Inconvenient.
This is bad.
As the darkness gets stronger, it also has the ability to take over vehicles as well, which is not my good thing, obviously.
There were more of them.
Reload.
My head
And reload
pounded
again.
with the concussion. I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something.
Now, if we
There were no
turn this
bodies.
on,
They just disappeared.
it'll
I
act
was
as like a
dreaming.
little safe
Felt real
haven.
enough to make me sick.
Now let's just go over here, give that a little kick. And just a quick look, make sure there's nothing around here. You never know. There is quite a lot of hidden ammo and stuff. By the way, those little generators don't last for long, so, you know, don't waste them. Also, if you look on here, these are directions to secrets and so on. So,
Blurry hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it.
so it gives you flare guns and everything else, which is pretty cool. So do look out for that. It does give you some nice secrets in the game. if you follow them fairly well, it means that you don't
The Dark
struggle
Forest
so
was the
much.
last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
Now, actually, I remember when I played this originally, back on the 360, as I've mentioned, I was actually extremely ill, and it pretty much entertained me through my entire being ill stage. As you can see, shooting them when the darkness is around is pretty much ineffective. I think you do eventually die, but it's pretty much pointless. I now have a good stock of batteries. Unfortunately, you will burn through them fairly rapidly. It's always worth checking out little environments like this, because you can get manuscript pages and other goodies, which is sort of worth it, to be fair. Ow.
What the hell was that?
Nothing friendly, Mr. Wake. Nothing friendly. The graphics,
When I
of course,
saw the
continue
river
to
below, something uncoiled
impress.
itself inside my
I mean,
head.
what's very impressive
I
to me is
realized
actually the
that I'd have
fog. It's
to
very
find a way
immersive, very
across.
oppressive,
I didn't even want to
very
look at the water.
thick. It actually moves well, and behaves pretty, well, fog-like, if you will, if you'll excuse. Peek around. Ooh, I think I just saw some flash here. Coffee famous. Excellent. Excellente. Pretty sure you can't go up here. For any particular reason. No. Not doing any good. Quick little one here. No, this away. You don't want to go into the water. The water is bad. Now they are in the distance as well.
Stucky was
Generally
still
speaking,
out there, in the dark, stalking me.
you do want to keep a good lookout. Pick up revolver ammo, don't mind if I do, and also some batteries, which are pretty sweet as well. Now, for the most part, you don't actually have to use the overburn feature. The batteries, as you can see. And they do try to cover their faces. And ow, I forgot about that before. Which is relevant for anyone involved. Specifically me, and ow, I was reloading them. While I'm doing this, drop here. There we are. Now, eventually I believe your health does somewhat regenerate, which does, as I've said, kind of negate the survival aspect of the game somewhat. But, I will say that it doesn't fully regenerate, I don't think. It's been a long time. Well, I guess we'll find out in a minute or three. I think this is a pretty good point to actually call it for now. I think I've adequately demonstrated the game. I'd actually highly recommend you do pick it up if you've even got a vague interest in this type of thing. Other than that, I'll probably do another video which will be a little bit further into the game, which will probably illustrate a few more of its mechanics in case you guys are unsure about any of them. I probably would imagine most of you wouldn't know by now whether you're actually interested in it. But other than that, take care guys, and bye for now.